Biom Hashmini Atzeres Tielachem. On the 8th day, you should have a gathering. Perek Vav, Dipsachim Daf Samech Ches Amud Beis. Kasu v'echad omer, Atzeres le'avai Elokecha. One verse says there should be a gathering for Hashem, your Elokecha, b'parshas Re'eh, Gabi Shvi Shel Pesach. That's on the Shvi Shel Pesach. Because of Echad Omer Atzeres Tielachem. And another verse says you should have a gathering for yourselves. Rabbi Elazar Savar, O Kulu Hashem, O Kulu Lachem. Rabbi Yoshua Savar Chalkeu. So one opinion says, well, it should be either or. The first, it should either be or completely for Hashem or completely for yourselves. And Rabbi Yoshua says, divide it. Chalkeu, Chetziu Hashem, Chetziu Lachem. Half of it should be for Hashem and half of it should be for you. Because of Masha, Han hu trei kroi, Chad gabi shvi shel Pesach, ksiv, Chad gabi shmini shel Sukkos ksiv. So the Marsha explains that these two psukim, one written by the 7th of Pesach and one written by the 8th of Sukkos, Mikol Mako Minu Domelo, Lechalek Ben Yom Tov Halalu. Arkan Lashono, but nonetheless it doesn't seem to him right to divide, to make a distinction between these two holidays. And look what we explained later on concerning this idea of dividing. And the Alter Rebbe explains that on Pesach it's going out of Mitzrayim, it's an elevation of with great love from below to above. But on the 7th day you have this gathering to contain and to hold back the spirit and the soul, not to go out of its sheath, and to go out of existence with his great love. But each one to be held back and imprisoned within their hearts, and this is in a concept of going upwards, going out and coming back. So that Hashem should be your Elokecha. That is, that he should rest and be clothed in the lower realms through the involvement in Torah mitzvahs. And this is an idea of, if Mitzias Mitzrayim is to go out, but so that, but you have to bring it back down. So that's Pesach. You're going out of Mitzrayim. You have to bring it back down. LaHashem Elokecha, to the shuv is that it should be that Hashem should be your Elokecha. V'zeu al tikri banayich ela bonayich. And this is what it says. Do not say your sons, say your builders. That you're building the world, that you're coming back down through Torah mitzvos. Because you're building a dwelling place in Tachtonim. And look what it says in Likutei Torah, Parsha Shlach b'dibur hamaschil b'parshas Nesachim. But there's another concept in the holiday of Sukkot, which is an idea of my lips should repeat your words. And I will place my words in your mouth. And the truth of Hashem to the world. That's why it says to you, and this is what it says, that you have chosen Hashem, but it uses the word that you have spoken, that the speaking is the bringing down of Hashem. You're saying Hashem, the words of the Torah That's why it says it's to you, because it's this extra concept of Torah. Zeu Atzeres Shvi Shel Pesach. V'achar kach v'Hashem hem yircha. Zeu Atzeres Shmini Shel Sukkos. So, as Hashem hem Marta, this that you chose Hashem, that's the Atzeres of Shvi Shel Pesach. And then Hashem hem yircha, Hashem has chosen you, Hashem has said to you, that's the Atzeres of the 8th day of Sukkot. So when you say Hashem's words, Hashem says it in you. And Hashem saying it in you is the 8th day of Pesach. The 8th day of Sukkot. Shmini Atzeres, Kain, Perish B'Likutei Torah B'Dibur HaMaschil, Havin Mashikazu B'Yom HaShmini Atzeres, Tiyelachem, and that's why it says, on the 8th day of Shmini Atzeres, it should be to you, meaning to say that Hashem, the Hamshacha from Hashem Hem Yircha to you. Vain Shamrish Peragimel, Vain B'Likutei Torah B'Shir HaShirim, B'Dibur HaMaschil Shmini Kechosam Peragimel. Hine yesh Torah v'yesh Torah chulu, that there's Torah and there's Torah, there's different kinds of Torah. If Shalom, we can say Zeu Afresh ben Shvi Shel Pesach ben Shmini Atzeres. We can say that this is the difference between the 8th day of this, the 7th day of Pesach and the 8th day of Sukkot. The Shmini Atzeres nikras Simchas Torah, and that's why Shmini Atzeres is called the joy of the Torah, because it's Hashem Hem Yircha, from above to below. If Shalom Gam Kin Ki Atzeres Lashon Malchus Umimshala Ze Yatzur Bami. We can further say this is also the idea of a gathering, a language of kingship and ruling. This one will rule in my nation. Kamushikoz B'Rayim Hem Na Pinchas Tavrish Nvav. Vim Kain B'Shvi Shel Pesach Shviskalus Malchuso Yizbarech. If so, on the 7th day of Pesach, which is the revelation of Hashem's kingship, Kamushikoz B'Shiras Hayam Hashem Yimluch L'Olam V'ad, like it says, and that by the song of the sea, that Hashem will rule forever and ever. Ubirabos B'Shalach Reish Parsha Chav Gimel Nisyash V'Malchuscha. Like it's brought in Medrash Rabbah that your kingship was settled. That's why it's called a gathering for Hashem your Elokecha, because it's the concept of Gilui Malchus on the 7th day of Pesach. But the concept of the Shmini Atzeres is the concept of, in me, kings are get their ruling. The Mishnah is the king. Through our tongues repeating your words. That's why it says that it's Atzeres for you, that we become the kings. That through the Limud Torah, it's a concept of kingship of Bnei Israel. So and again, it's an idea of how in Pesach it's from below to above. We crown Hashem king, and here, so that's Hashem Marta. Whereas on Shmini Atzeres, it's Hashem Mircha. Hashem gives His words in our mouth, and that's making us kings, Masnis and Malchus. Gam Lapedish Atzeres Lashon Ikuv Umenia. Also, to the explanation that Atzeres is from a language of holding back. Atzeres Lavaya, that you have a holding back of Havaya, Shaloli Yosis Talkusa, or that this light should not go away, Kim Hiyos Hamashpili, but to have the idea of Hamashpili Liros Pashamayim V'Aretz, that Hashem should descend and show Himself within the heavens and the earth. Zeu Chosim Shokea, and this is the idea of a seal that's impressioned, Shel Milamayla, that comes from above, Anim Shechal Yidei Chosim Boled, Shemilamata Yitzias Mitzrayim, that comes from the seal that sticks up from below, which is the going out of Mitzrayim, so that it brings down from the convex seal of going out of Mitzrayim, you have a concave seal that's impressioned inward on Shmini Atzeres. Ach b'Shmini Atzeres tielachem chosim shokea, Shmila Mata, and Shmini Atzeres, you have this sunken seal from below al derech sarim atzru b'milin, like the ministers who held back their words. Yov chavtes tes atzru b'milin miyuchal. Yov simin dalet, and also it says who can hold back their words in Yov dalet v'inyan lo saseh. And this is the concept of the negative commandments as opposed to the positive mashtoka batrain, that being silent is worth 2. And like it's brought on the verse that the man Eliezer was wondering about her and silent. And through having this sunken seal from below, to this you draw down the seal that sticks out from above, and that's the concept of the supernal unity of the Shmini Atzeres. So that's again the difference between Yitzias Mitzrayim. Starts with a chosim bullet from below, and brings a chosim shokea from above. But Shmini Atzeres, you have a chosim shokea from below, and that's like Eov's friends being silent, or Eliezer being silent from below, and drawing down the Yichud Elyon from above, the chosim bullet. The ashpa from above. Perakama de Chagiga daf tesum ralef michtei mai Atzeres hatzor b'asiyas malacha. So in Gemara Chagiga it brings that Atzeres is to hold back from doing malacha. That's Atzeres. Gemara Chagiga daf tes. Rabos naso pashiyud daf reish lametesum ul bez medrashaban naso al pasuk netzra na oschav. So, Amar lo Manoach Atzurim. So Manoach said to the Malach, the father of Shimshon, he said, let's hold you back. We'll make a Gedizim in front of you. Amar lo Manoach Itzurim. So Manoach said to him, holding back, the concepts of holding back. Hainu command Amar ki Atzorat tzar Hashem bad kol rechem beparshas Vayera Kav. Because you have this concept of how Hashem held back all wombs in Parshas Vayera. V'ata bisartanu barvacha. So you have proclaimed to us an opening of the womb. So that's why he said netzra now sach, that you have this concept of atzurim, and that now there's been harvacha. Now simcha yom tov, let's make a yom tov. Command das amris, biyom hashmini atzeres yelachem, like it says that on the 8th day we'll make an atzeres. Mefarish atzeres lashon yom tov. So he explains that atzeres is from the language of yom tov. So maybe you could even say that Atzorat tzar Hashem b'ad kol rechem means to say that he opened up again the wombs. Or anyway, so it's the language of Yom Tov. The Harvacha is the Yom Tov. Vual derech hashas my Atzeres chulu kanal, and this is similar to what the Shas says in Chagiga that he brought in Sif Dalet, that it's Atzur as Mimasiyas Malacha, which is a Yom Tov. Achod Yishlomar, we can further say, however, Ki Yish Beis Atziros, that there are 2 holding back. Ha'alef legediyusa. The first is a negative, al derech ki atzor atzar bad kol rechem kanal. That the first is that Hashem, that you hold back to close all the wombs, like we said, heder halei devashpa, which is the lack of birth and flow. Habez l'mayli yusa, and the second is positive. Atzeres. K'moshikas b'me'ori oros ayin saf Samach Mem, Sif Mem, Atzeres Nikra Hamalchus, that the gathering, the Atzeres is called Malchus Keshihimu Beres, when she is pregnant, Manashamos, from the souls, Vikoleta Susam, and is holding them, Vinamapelo Susam, and does not miscarry them. Adgan Shono, Chaz V'Shalom. V'kein Kasav B'Emek HaMelech Shavav Perek Lamed Hey. So do it says in Emek HaMelech Vayim HaShakasav means Al Pasuk Ele Toldos Nor Chulu Shedoram Mabel Shchisu Zaram. Look what's brought about this in Noach, that the generation of the flood, they destroyed their seed because they were from the concept of the angels who fell down. And the fixing for this is to hold back Noach and his sons 12 months in the Teva. It's also a concept of Yesod, Atzeres Yesod, holding back the Yesod from Hashchasa. And this is the strength to have Yesh and to nullify the Yesh, to connect Atzilus and Biyah, which are two opposites, L'chein. Batika Kadisha Talia, therefore it's dependent on Atik. In order to unite these two, look what's brought on the verse, that with you is the forgiveness in order to fear. Therefore he says, you have proclaimed to us, given us the news of the being wide and giving birth. Therefore, let's hold you for the Yom Tov, and Chulu and so forth. Find B'Sefer Binali Eitim Dereshut Zayin. Look what it says in Binali Eitim, Binyan Atzeres, and concerning Atzeres, V'Yafe Perish Kipshuto. And he explains there nicely in its simple sense. Od Lamed Ayin Lamed Kuf Sif Yudalef B'Dibur Maskil Od Yesh Lomar Ach Kimedumeli De Ishtamit Leha Medrash Naso Pashi Ranal. But it seems to me that he did not know about the Medrash and Pashas Naso, that it's from a lashon of having a Yom Tov, like Manoach says. Rabbo Sof Pasha Pinchas Al Pasuk Biom Hashmini Atzeres Medrash Rabba and Pinchas Ze Shamar Kasu Yishaya Chavav Tezvav Yasavta Lagoy Nichparata. This is what it says in Yeshayahu, that you've gathered the nation, you've become honored. Mefarsha Shahusif Lano Moadim. So this implies that it was added to us a holiday, Yasafta Lagoy, and Shmini Atzeres Validizeh Nichparata Chulu. And through this, you've become honored. So we need to understand this addition, because the three holidays correspond with the three forefathers, and are called the three legs. If so, if you already have that basic three, so the Shmini Atzeres is an extra idea, it's a Tosefes to that. We must say that the supernal Yichud, which is the main addition of light, that happens on Shmini Atzeres. So in comparison to all these other Yamim Tovim, the main Yichud is on Shmini Atzeres, as is known the idea of Yichud Yisrael V'Rachel, Dafka on Shmini Atzeres. וכן משמע זוהר חלק א' ויגש ריש חס בייז שפירוש על שמיני עצרס פסוק ולא עמד איש איתו דגבי יוסף לאחיו, that it explains there the idea of Shmini Atzeres, how nobody stood there with Yosef and his brothers. That the concept of Yosef, of Tosefes, is specifically on Shmini Atzeres, that Hashem and the Jewish people alone is similar to Yosef and his brothers. The concept of Yisod, Yosef, or Tosefes of Yosef, Baradiski. Yosef. בספר חסידים, סימן תפרש תסבב, מפרש, בייז פעמים יוספת, שני תוספס. So it implies there you have 2 times that you added. So in the pasuk in Yeshaya, Yosafta begoid nichbarata, Yosafta, again a second time, ha'alef korban musaf. The first corresponds with the korban musaf, habez isr malacha, and the second is how we're forbidden to do malacha on Shmini Atzeres, v'azai nichbarata, and then you become honored. L'chavdo bebegadim. What does it mean nichbarata? It says you have to honor it with beautiful clothing. That it says by the clothing that they are for honor and for beauty. And we can say these 2 times, these 2 words Yosafta in the pasuk, Yichud da'aba ve'ima v'yichud zun. That refers to a unity of the mother and father and the unity of the masculine and feminine, Chochma Bina and Zan Nukva. Kinyan Shalom Shalom l'rachok v'lekarov, similar to the idea of how you have peace to the far and to the near. These 2 concepts of Yosafta, which, like we said, is an Atzeres and Klita of the Neshamos. B'targum Yonason mefarish Yosafta l'goy, and Yonason translates that you added to the nation hiskaluso l'kabetz hagaluyos. It's Hashem's revelation of Hashem to gather the exiles. So Yosafta l'goy is a gathering of the exiles. V'haya bayom ein shem, look over there. V'haya bayom ahu Yosef adna shenis yaduchulu, like the verse, how it will be on that day Hashem will add his hand a second time to gather in. B'Yeshaya simin yodalef v'hu b'rabos pashat reish pashat shmos v'imkenish lomar bez pamim Yosafta k'neged yitzias Mitzrayim l'lasid lavo. If so, we can say that if the Yosafta is the ingathering, so the 2 times Yosafta corresponds with the ingathering of Mitzrayim to go out of Mitzrayim, and the ingathering of the exiles in the time to come. Now the 7th day of Pesach, so that's already a concept of going out of Mitzrayim. That's the ingathering of Mitzrayim. Atzeres, Shmini Atzeres Hishlomar. Shmini Atzeres we can say neged lasilav bevav. Or chul. That corresponds with the time to come and so forth. Od yishlomar demevor li'il sof siv vav the bechinas Shmini Atzeres zeu inyan bisvada Yosef elechav. Further, you can say, but that we were explained in the end of Sivav, that Shmini Atzeres corresponds with the idea of Yosef revealing himself to his brothers. If so, the concept of Yosafta is Yosef obeys Pamim Yosafta neged beis Pamim ben Poras. And these 2 times, Yosafta corresponds with the 2 times it says ben Poras Yosef, ben Poras Ali Ayin. So that's, Poras is also a language of Yiski, of greatening. Shenemar gabi Yosef ben Poras Ali Ayin v'efsholam elamayla min bechinas amshacha shalidei ayin parei achag. And we can say that this is higher What does it mean? Ale ayin, above the ayin, that's ayin is gematria 70, spelled out. Aleph Yud Nun is the letter ayin, and ayin is 70, so we can say that that's higher than the hamshacha, than what we're drawing down. Shali de ayin pariyachag, to 70 cows of the holiday.